Hello and welcome to the Pomcast, and despite being up to episode 4, we still don't really plan this at all. My name's Jared and this is David, because
Hi.
I've decided to introduce him because after last week, probably better to.
No.
Anyway, we'll get straight into it. A lot of people, a lot of friends and whatnot message, and one of the first questions they always seem to ask is, what are you missing? What are you missing about Australia? Or just in general? And it's a really hard question to answer, I've found at least. I sort of had to spend time actually thinking about what I miss rather than going, saying the obvious of going, I miss family or I miss seeing friends. Sort of, have you had those questions from people or?
No, I don't have friends, so that's fine.
That works out well for you then.
It does.
You probably haven't had to think about this at all then. Unless I've asked you, to which you just sort of blankly look at me and go,
lol.
Obviously one misses family, and talking about that is not exactly interesting because
obviously. Sorry, continue.
I miss my family. I miss seeing my friends. I miss having catch-ups and all that kind of stuff, and bitching over a cup of coffee and all the fun that's associated with that.
Bitching over the coffee, or like
having
coffee?
Having a bitchy conversation whilst drinking coffee.
Okay, but what if the coffee shit? Will you bitch about that?
Yes,
but still drink it.
More than likely, because I paid for it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's one of the things that I do miss is decent coffee and cafe culture that isn't here at all. There's only been a couple of places that I've found that even remotely resemble a decent cup of coffee and a decent cafe here, which is a little bit sad. I found one in London, but there's two here in Liverpool that are okay, but one of them is hipster beyond belief, and the Chesterfield couches are ruined and horrible. But the coffee's okay. And the other one, nobody ever seems to be at, so it's quite a nice place to sit, but it's quite a reserved place. So, no, it's just one of those things. Like, there's so many places in Bendigo you can go to suit your mood and what you're wanting to achieve in the 20 minutes, half an hour that you spend sitting down, having a coffee or having lunch or something like that. It's really just not that present here. So, the other thing that I'm desperately missing is driving, and that does stem from my absolute hatred of buses. I just do not like them, but I will persist with them whilst I'm here because it's the easiest way to get around the city, because the trains are a little bit more expensive, naturally. So,
buses are fine if you have a seat, which you usually do because most of them are double-decker.
Yeah, most of them are double-decker here, which is good, but they're still... Ugh. I just don't like them. I don't know, I just never really have.
Buy a car.
I'm not spending stupid amount of money on a car, because then I'll have to pay probably 4 times that amount to have it insured here. Insurance here is ridiculous. I don't know how the British deal with it. Just
catch public transport.
Yeah, I'm just going to, because the other thing is nobody here seems to be able to drive at all. Indicators seem to be an optional thing whilst driving, more so than in Australia, which is really infuriating, particularly when you're trying to cross a road and there's no pedestrian crossing, because they don't seem to exist here either. There's not many of them, and you get to a crossroads with a traditional set of lights and there's no pedestrian lights at all, and you just sort of have to make this assumption that you're going. But when people aren't indicating, you don't know where they're going, and they get cranky at you because you're in their way, and it's just like, well, I didn't know where you were going. It's not fun.
There's lots of places where there's like a little ramp in the curb, but there's no lines or crossing, but it looks like they were going to make one, and then just didn't.
Yeah.
It's like, we could put a crossing here, because that would make sense, because there's a supermarket right there, and this is a busy road with traffic lights. Nah.
No, it's
fine.
It's very strange. And people park wherever the hell they want to. They'll just launch up on the curb and leave their car sprawled across where pedestrians are supposed to be. And it's really strange. Driving culture seems very odd in the cities. I'm not sure what it's like out in the country, but we'll witness that when we eventually
Out in the
get to Wales.
country?
Yes,
Yes.
the country.
Yeah.
In Northern
Let's go.
Wales, which is where we're going to go.
Go
Eventually.
there in a car.
Hmm.
Not your car. 'Cause
No.
You didn't have one.
No, I have to hire a car, which is going to be interesting.
Sadness.
But oh well, it'll be fine. The other thing that I really do miss is the simple structure of shops in Australia. I never thought I'd say this, but how shops work back home makes more sense than what it does here.
What?
Yeah, I knew this would catch you off guard. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like it's evident with takeaways. It's evident with department stores, even supermarkets. They all try and do so many different things in one tiny little place, and it's very difficult to find anything. And I find it really frustrating to get around them as well. Like Primark has what feels like 67 different levels, and you walk past the same product twice, but there's also lots of other different things going on, and all the cashiers are at the back of the store and not at the front, and blah. And then supermarkets that, like, there are specialized supermarkets, I suppose, like Iceland, which is just like one big freezer, which is quite handy, and it's not that expensive, but I don't know, even like with Asda, they have the bit up the top that has... They've got a cafeteria in a supermarket to go and buy lunch in.
Pizza's not bad.
Yeah. For the amount of money that you spend on it, you wouldn't complain.
It's like, what was it, £5
Something like that.
for a...
It was fucking massive,
Yeah, it was
actually.
huge.
It was massive.
Huge!
It was probably like 19 or something inches in diameter. It looked like it should have been on a car. Tractor wheel.
What?
But yeah, like they just, I don't know, simple shops that just do one thing. Like takeaways here, it's like, come to a fish and chip shop that also sells Chinese food
And pizza.
and pizza
And
or
chicken.
pizza. Like
Chicken and
we
pizza.
do everything poorly instead of just one thing kind of okay, which is kind of disappointing. But I don't know. Those are the things that I miss.
Could they do one thing well? I mean, if you're going to do one thing bad, you may as well do lots of things bad. People are going to buy it.
Yeah, but that's just shit capitalism. It's just bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would prefer a store to do one thing well, like sell a cup of coffee, or just sell books, or just sell pizza.
But they don't know how to make it good, so they just
They should
increase
learn.
variety.
No, just because you've got more variety doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's like the Zone. You can't just the Zone back in Bendigo. You can't just keep adding bits onto it when the core premise is everything else is shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't entice people to go back there at all. You want to offer something good and keep offering the good thing. And if you have the ability to build on from that, you do that. But anyway, those are the things I miss. But yeah, and then the simple things of family and friends. Got half a one.
I wouldn't go that far.
Which is live in the same house.
Yeah. That was the only reason I was friends with Ryan. And I told him that. I was like, Ryan, if we didn't live together, we wouldn't be friends. He's like, yeah, I understand that. I haven't seen him in a while, mainly because we're in different countries, but that's fine.
It's alright, he occasionally Snapchats. And...
Yeah, he's out there somewhere in the world, catching trains home at late in the afternoon after a heavy night of being lost in the city. I don't know. Just Ryan things.
Just Ryan things, yes. Well, I suppose, in his defence, it's probably a little bit easier to get lost in Melbourne than what it is in Yakandanda.
It's not a real place.
It is a real place. We drove past it. Well, we drove past a sign for it. Or did we drive through it?
No, we drove.
We drove around it.
It said turn left, and we didn't because it doesn't exist, so we couldn't go there. Obviously.
Yes, of course. Some of these places in Australia don't exist. Yakandanda, Wagga Wagga, Wodonga, Nimbin.
It doesn't have 2 G's.
Well, no, but
So it's obviously Wodonga.
yeah, I had a New Zealand born sociology teacher who called it Wodonga, and he taught up there and taught the kids at the Wodonga campus saying Wodonga instead of Wodonga, and they hated it.
That's excellent.
He was incredibly funny. Edgar, silly man, silly man. Edgar.
He was a cow.
Sorry?
What? Not that Edgar, a different Edgar, who was a cow stuck in a hole. I don't know. Moving on.
In a book, in a movie, in a dream you once had?
Real life.
Sorry?
What?
You know a cow that was stuck in a
I
hole.
don't know the cow.
So how do
I
you
saw
know
the
of the
cow.
cow?
What? That was on the internet.
Oh, fuck. The fucking internet. Jesus Christ.
It's regular internet, actually.
Sort of leads into the next thing. The ABC website had clickbait on it this week. I don't know whether it was intentionally clickbait,
Falsehood!
but it pretty much looked like it to me. The title on the featured article list read, "Terrorist or hipster, what does a beard mean?"
It means they haven't shaved the face. Usually. Or they've gone and knitted themselves a beard.
Well,
Out of horsehair.
Yeah.
Or wool. Or cotton. Or silk. A silk beard.
you know, I can imagine that that's the sort of thing that you would see on BuzzFeed, or the thing that immediately that came to mind for me was like the
10 reasons why you need a beanie with a beard attached to it.
Yeah, or like in regards to this article, if it was like on the right-wing equivalent of the conservative equivalent of BuzzFeed, I don't know whether there is one, probably is, but like telling the difference between a hipster beard and a terrorist beard, and it was just the article, the headline as it was actually took me in, because I wanted to figure out what the hell why it was on the ABC.
They got you.
They got me,
ya.
and I'm sure that they got a lot of other people.
Because they're like, what is this fucking bullshit?
It turns out that it was an article about a photographic study done by somebody called Shireen Farhed from the University of Technology.
What?
Shireen Farhed. I can't...
Fuckhead.
No, not fuckhead. Spelt Fahd.
Fuckhead. Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't turn your phone to up, but good one.
What? That's not a phone. Oh man, Rocket League. Never mind. I'll do it later.
But anyway,
Just throw it on the table this week.
Yeah, good work. It was a study done, and this person took photos of people with beards who looked like...
Terrorists.
No, who...
Do you know how to pick a terrorist out of a crowd?
I don't know whether this is a joke or
No.
not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the difficult part.
Oh.
Because everyone's a terrorist. No. But if they are driving a truck through a crowd, that's usually an easy way to find a terrorist.
I didn't quite...
So, if they have a beard... Yes.
I didn't quite want to go down that route, really, that conversational topic.
That's because usually you take the road.
Oh no.
I'm not sorry.
I know, that's the problem. But she took photos of people that looked as if they had Middle Eastern backgrounds, and the idea was it was put up, sort of displayed, and the same t-shirt and looking the same way in the photo, and it's like distinguish which one is, you know, what their background is and whatnot. But I was just so surprised that the ABC actually had a clickbaity title to do that. And it kind of makes me a little bit sad that then went on their website.
So terrorist, was it like multiple choice?
No. It was just explaining what this person had done for their research, this photographic study. It wasn't anything about whether somebody was a terrorist or somebody was a hipster. It was just about your perceptions of somebody and how they look.
Who has a beard?
Yeah.
Were there people without beards?
No, it was all people with beards.
Okay.
Any facial hair.
Any women?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying
they had a beard. I couldn't tell.
Yeah. I'm not really worried if a woman has a beard or not, whether they were in this study or not. It doesn't matter. It's about the fact that they had to take somebody's. The ABC has had to grasp somebody looking at this and going terrorist or hipster. Oh, I need to find out what is what, and then to then get them to read about a study is really sad and really telling. I just think that's a bit appalling.
But that's what you find on Facebook.
Wasn't on Facebook. It was me on the ABC's website because
that's what you find on Facebook. Clickbait.
Yeah, I hate it. I really do.
Yeah, but it's fun to make.
No, it's not.
What? You get lots of clicks, and clicks are the currency of the internet. Got to get them clicks.
Yes, because...
Doesn't matter if people actually like the content. You just got to make them watch it.
That's disturbing, and I find that really problematic. From my I don't want to get into that whole debate because I could rant for days and days and days, but I can't be bothered. And I'm sure that you as a listener probably don't want to hear this as you're washing the dishes or got your headphones plugged in. Don't drive with headphones in. The amount of people that I see doing that, God, that makes me mad. No. Concentrate on the road and have the radio softly or have it off. Concentrate on driving. No. Don't put headphones in while you drive. Bad. Wash dishes and listen to the Pomcast.
Don't wash dishes while you drive. It's bad. And don't listen to the podcast. It's bad. It's terrible. Should not be heard by anyone. That's why I, after uploading it, just delete everything. It's all gone.
Oh, I keep it. I'm sorry.
What? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, there we go.
It's just being dramatic.
The one thing that sort of beards, though...
The one thing that sort of beards?
Well, the one thing...
me.
As I was thinking about beards this week...
Beards.
And reading that article, and we've both had this experience.
Shout out to the beards.
Yeah, beards. David had a haircut today. I had one.
Oh, no. I did
not through last week, the week before.
They were doing so well, and then he cut most of my fringe off, and I was sad.
Yeah.
But you can't say anything, because they're just meant to know what you want.
I wouldn't know. I admittedly got talking to the one and he cut my hair a little bit too short for my liking.
Yeah, I got, he was like, head down, and I was like, didn't say anything. And that was it.
Wow, mine wanted to know where my accent was from and...
space?
Yeah. And then got talking about Australia and his ex-wife and all this.
Oh, lovely.
I was like...
Are you from Mars? Yeah. Australia, on Mars.
The simple haircuts took me...
cold.
To half an hour. I just wanted to kind of leave in the end of it. But...
Say you have a washing machine
to attend to?
Yeah, that.
Mm. I mean, I didn't think of that at the time. But it got me thinking, because I really miss... that's another thing that I miss. I miss the barber that I had in Bendigo.
Black sheep? Have you any more?
No, funnily enough. You could go in and if there were people waiting, it wouldn't take that long, and you'd sit there for 15 minutes, you'd hand over $15 and you'd leave. And I thought that was quite good. No, he was nice, he chatted to you whilst you were... But he didn't get so bogged down in the conversation that he forgot that he was cutting your hair. And
it's like, you have a job to do. Focus, please.
Yeah. But at the same time, he was quite... I don't know, he's quite a manly man in some ways. He lifts weights and things like that.
What?
Some of the conversations I didn't understand at all.
How does he lift them?
Oh, he does. But
his arm With his arms.
Arms, yes, and legs when you're doing squats or something.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Sounds
he was
fun.
quite a nice guy, and that's why I kept going back there. And also, he provided a good service, a nice, simple service. You go in for a haircut, you leave, and it sort of got me thinking.
Get the haircut in between that, or you just go in for the haircut and then before you get it, you leave?
No. You go and get your
Hey,
haircut.
I'd like a haircut. Bye. Wait.
I need to. But I've had some interesting hairdressers in the past, and I think that there's an interesting one when I look back at it. When I was in high school, there was a really camp hairdresser that worked in the salon that was next to my parents' post office. And I think his name was Rory. He was quite funny. And then, I think most female hairdressers sort of have the same tendencies. I'm sure that there's differences, but I haven't witnessed them, so I sort of talk about the male ones, obviously. So you get these sort of manly-ish barbers that they sort of offer a simple service and you leave. Then you get the camp hairdressers that really they're up for a chat, and they'll be like, oh, do you want me to wash your hair? And you're like, I'm fine, I washed it this morning, or whatever. And then you get the one thing I love when you walk through Liverpool and you look at, there's lots of barbers around, and you see these guys that look like they've just been to Primark and bought something. They're wearing the clothes that they've just bought because they're far too neat to have already been through the washing machine. And they've got the short back and sides, which is all they offer. And it looks like they've just gotten out of the bathroom after gelling it in place. And there you barber, and you pay 15 quid for it. So it's like haircut 15 quid or 12 quid if you're a student. And then you get the really ancient barbers, the ones that look like they were cutting Mussolini's hair in the 30s. And every time they finish a haircut, they'll grab the comb and they wet it, and they do the side part in your hair, they do the comb over, and then you leave. And I've never come across a barber that doesn't fit one of those 4 stereotypes, a male barber or hairdresser, if you will. I don't know. What? So yours obviously didn't talk today.
No.
Was it expensive?
£9.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I just walked that way and I found a store. And I was like, can I have a haircut? And
pointing's
he
really...
was just doing his hair in the mirror.
Yeah.
He was just waiting. He's like, 2 minutes. I didn't say anything. And then he was just like, I got in the chair. It was very minimal talking. It was mainly just gestures and then going, yeah, I'd like a haircut. Oh, that's great.
Mine asked me at the end of it, he said, do you want me to shave your beard off? And I looked at him and said, well, no. I said, I trimmed it yesterday. And then he went...
Well, it looks shit, doesn't it?
Well, he went on a couple of minute rant about how he doesn't like beards and he thinks it's all this fad. And I'm thinking, can I just pay you and leave? The reason I went there was because he's close by and it was fairly cheap. It was £6.50 for me.
Mine was... So the one I went to was just near the art gallery.
Which one?
The one that we went to.
The Walker Gallery.
Yeah,
yes.
that.
Yeah.
The doggos, the wolfos that were having a laugh.
Yeah.
And the statues and the weird posable wooden men. The figures.
And the handles.
And the handles. And lots
Modern art.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll have to keep that in mind because I probably won't go back to that barber. He was nice, but no. Sorry.
But no.
But it's just interesting. It was just very interesting. So there's... Yeah. So the other thing, and I think this sort of links in to everything today, not the website where you can forward your career.
That's LinkedIn.
Don't
get
LinkedIn.
confused.
It's also very boring, LinkedIn. The culture here in the UK is extraordinarily different to that in Australia. And the one thing that I have noticed is since I've joined the brass band, there's a lot of people my age in it, which is a nice change from bands that I've been in the past that have older members.
Old people.
And over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten messages from people. It's just like, hey, we're going to the pub, and then they look at the date. I'm like, oh, it's a Tuesday, or
cheap
hey,
Tuesday.
it's a Thursday. It's like they seem to have quite
a lot
an outgoing attitude to actually going out. Like they like to do it, And there's lots of live music in Liverpool. Now, Liverpool's only a city of about 400,000 people. So it's only 4 times the size of Bendigo. And it's not a big city in the UK by any stretch.
Nah.
Yet there's always people out. There's always people around. In a
Well,
pub.
we got nothing else to do.
Apart from negotiate Brexit, but, that's up to May.
Yeah. What's there to negotiate?
So many things.
So the European Union they'll be like, no.
Probably.
You can't have any things you want. But you're leaving. Yeah.
That's the point.
You're leaving. I get everything.
But it's interesting that there always seems to be people out. And it's not like it's a cheap night. Like, in some cases, it's cheaper to drink, particularly to drink here in the UK to what it is in Australia. But
yes.
They're all very outgoing. I know a lot of people back home that would just prefer to have people around at home or, just have a night in. They don't go out. And one of the nights that I was out quite late, there was a line to a club on, I think it was a Wednesday night or something like that, at 11:30. I've never seen that many people out, even on a Saturday or a Friday in Bendigo. And yet there was a line on a Wednesday at a club, and I couldn't get over it. I quite like it because there's always seems to be people out, but it's very different. Even in Melbourne, the couple of nights that I've been out in Melbourne, there's never lines, or it doesn't seem like there's that many people out.
Lots of places to go in Melbourne.
Yeah. Everybody's sort of spread out more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm enjoying it though. It's nice. It's nice to be able to go out and people, like big groups go out. It's like St. Patrick's Day a couple of weeks ago. That was
People
fun.
of all ages.
Yes.
Every age. Old. Young. Yeah.
I'm glad you classified that.
Yeah,
Before
various ages. Here's a story.
I was about to say, before we wind up, we'll just, David's got some more fun Swedish for everybody to listen to.
Swedish. It's translations from Swedish that are various clauses or sentences that I've constructed. It's very short and depressing.
Oh,
story.
good.
So here we and there'll be a short pause between each of the sentences so you can discern that they were separate translations.
Sorry.
Quiet, please, in the room. Don't make mouth slappy noise. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, please, do continue.
Oh, I was about to start, and you... here we go. He saves me from the bear. I wonder who she is. She looks like a moose. It is probably a moose. Why doesn't he kiss me? He kisses me. He does not stop. That is enough. He dies. In the summer, the days are long. She is always sad. And that is the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I told you it was very short and depressing.
It was quite short and depressing, but it was funny only because of your facial expressions that went along with it. I feel sad for the audience that they did not get to witness
Audience?
that.
What, 4 people?
Something like that. And you, who kept going back onto YouTube and probably gained just 6 views, because stop it. Stop clicking on the thing.
I didn't even watch it. I just hit edit and it took me to the video page instead of the edit page. And I was like, no, go back.
Well, you need to learn to do it properly then,
change
don't
the
you?
description. The description. Today's episode is brought to you by...
Oh, the music. It's... you whispered it to me and I wasn't prepared. It's the opening music is the song called A Bookend, in brackets, by Yves Klein Blue. Yves is spelled Yves, and Klein is Klein. I think they were an Australian band. They broke up a couple of years ago, which is quite sad. But You can find them on
Oh.
most good music retailers, and those CDs are probably still floating around if you like.
And probably some bad ones as well.
If you like owning that kind of thing.
Don't.
No,
Or
do.
Yeah, that.
Support the music industry, support the arts, and actually buy the product instead of just downloading it
Download it. No, stream it.
for free.
Streaming is good for, I don't know.
But yes, if
Streaming
you're one of
services.
the lucky people that seems to know us on Facebook and in real life, that must be really depressing for you, and would like to contact us, don't.
Yeah, you just eggs. So I'm just reading notes that I had. Don't look at my notes. They're personal notes. Yeah.
Well, this just drove off a cliff, so bye!
Ah.